Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Az. We are back here with another video for you guys here. Hopefully, you guys are having a fantastic start to your day so far, or a fantastic day whenever you guys are tuning into this. And I just wanted to kind of let you guys know that I didn't want to blindside anybody, and I want to make sure you guys were aware that I will be pushing for Blue Marvel here. We don't have that much time left on his race for the Red Stars. And I wanted to kind of make sure you guys were aware of the fact that I will be for sure pushing for him, and I'll kind of give you my reason why. And you guys go ahead and feel free to agree or disagree with me. I always appreciate the comments, the feedback, and of course as well just your guys' input. But I'll kind of go through my rationale first, and you guys might have seen some of my dilemma videos already. Like we already bashed Blue Marvel. He was he was kind of we were catfished into his kit. We thought he was going to be like this super omega character. And then, of course, they paywalled him. And yeah, you weren't able to get resources on him. And yeah, it sucks. It honestly does. I definitely got catfished. I bought a few offers, and I did the whole, there was like a couple of good deals at the start. I think it was like when you bought some deals, it was like equivalent to his ions. And yeah, I definitely bought a few of those. I'm not going to lie to you guys, right? Yeah, and of course, I don't want to, hide the fact that I won't, if you guys know I do lots of videos every day, right? And one day, you'll see that I don't have Blue Marvel unlocked, and then the next day you'll be like, whoa, what the heck? Az has Blue Marvel now. What the heck? So no, I'm not gonna hide that from you guys, but I'll kind of go through my rationale so you guys can kind of see where I'm coming from. First and foremost, we know the Age of the Nihilist is upon us, and there's going to be a certain section that you're going to need Mythic / Epic heroes. Now, having said that, there isn't that many to pick from, right? I think everyone already knows this is kind of the selection. Again, I covered this in another video, and it was, yeah, it is almost kind of like they're almost forcing us, right? They're almost, Scopely is smart. They kind of want people they're basically making people pick between, the more expensive legendaries or, the cheaper, kind of the crappier characters. Like I don't know if I want to bring Castro to tier 21, right? I'll tell you guys one thing. I'd rather bring Blue Marvel over Castro. So yeah, so I mean there's the dilemma right here, right? Where we're not really sure who you want to take. Like I hearted Professor Xavier and I hearted Odin because I think those are locks. Those are for sure forever characters, future proof, so to speak. No matter, even right now with Annihilus being announced, yeah, the top echelon of players will most likely get him unlocked probably maybe in the first day. But yeah, that doesn't change the fact that it's only a very small percentage of players. And yeah, even right now, people are still trying to push for Xavier, and some people still don't have Odin unlocked. And when they do, they both make that much of an impact in all the game modes that they play. So it is no surprise that they're hearted here and they're going to be guaranteed as a lock. Now the other problem remains is who's the other three characters that you're going to bring, right? And that's the thing. Every single one of these characters costs 5 pieces, right? They cost 5 of the 5 of their gear tier, other than the non legendaries, right? The hero epics, Captain Britain and Blue Marvel are only 2 or 3 pieces, right? Which, like I said, in the grand scheme of things, when you look at the race and because this section will be like the last, and depending on how long you play for, and if you're even still playing by then, or if they decide to open the gates on gear tier 21 earlier, yeah, for very well, it could probably be okay with just taking the slow race, and eventually maybe they'll have more mythics, they'll have more hero epics. Like, yeah, I mean, the new version of Doom may very well be another mythic, right? But yeah, but we don't know when that's coming, and it could very well be, I'm guessing, around the same time as Doomsday, which is the end of the year. So that is also quite a ways. But having said that, for people that are going to be pushing for the race, and for people like me that like to strategize and try to plan things ahead as well, I feel like Blue Marvel is going to have to be a lock because, out of the batch of characters here, he is kind of like one of the newer ones. And yes, he is, there's a lot of things wrong with Blue Marvel, but that doesn't change the fact that he is very good in certain game modes. And I mean, I wouldn't say he's like the best, right? But he's still very, very good compared to the rest here. And it's like you're basically picking like what is the best of the worst, right? And of course that's what I'm saying here. So I mean, I feel like for sure people are probably going to be debating between, like once, if we count Blue Marvel in here, and I think right now I'm just going to harp Captain Britain because, yeah, he's cheap. He's kind of sold me. And you know what? I actually don't mind Captain Britain. I actually think he's a great character. Like, I mean, he's amazing in Cosmic Crucible, which, like I said, that game mode is kind of for the, the pros. And I don't consider myself a CC pro, right? But I do play it enough to know that Captain Britain, even as outdated as he is, he still holds his own very, very well, especially because he's not even a 3.0 stat character. But because of the fact that he is a hero epic, and I feel like in the overall sense, he is kind of, similar to Blue Marvel, right? In the case that, maybe they don't dominate in all the game modes, but when you're talking about Cosmic Crucible, Blue Marvel and Captain Britain are actually pretty decent. And then if you count Arena, like Arena, Blue Marvel is like, he's okay. Although I will say this. The 7 red Blue Marvels that are level 110, and they have those, we'll call it gear tier 20.5 because people are upgrading those unique pieces on him. The ones that are kind of in the middle here that cost about 2 mil. And holy smokes, he hits like a rock. Like he is such a stat-based character, but my goodness gracious. So yeah, I have not been able to counter him, at least with my current characters, because my characters are only 106, 105. But I'm sure if I bump them up a bit, I'm sure we may be able to counter it. But anyways, sorry, I'm getting a little long-winded here. So yeah, Blue Marvel is still very relevant. He's just not as good as we all thought he was. But out of the batch here, because of his cost, because of the fact that he actually uses Bile as well, because yeah, if you look here, you're seeing a whole bunch of Mystic, and then there's a whole bunch of Mutant as well between Apocalypse and Xavier. It's really tough. Like, this section is going to be a freaking gear buster because you're just trying to figure out what sections you want to, manage your resources. And yeah, actually, it's crazy how much of a resource crunch the Mystic sections are going to be. Yeah, so, it's going to be nuts. It's absolutely going to be nuts here. But anyways, so my understanding here is the fact that we're probably going to have these 4 locked in. And then, yeah, I will probably have to choose between, depending on what I have more resources of, between Mephisto and Apocalypse. I haven't decided who I want to bring, but I think for sure if you want more value and you want more longevity, you're probably better off maybe picking Mephisto, just because he is newer. Apocalypse, he is still very good because of his passive, because he allows, he prevents the speed, and he also gives like quite a bit of buffs to his allies, right? Max health, max damage, and you never know, he may get potentially reworked. So by then, I think maybe I'll have a better decision. But for sure right now, I'm locking these 4 down, and if I'm locking these 4 down, that also means I need to get Blue Marvel up to speed here. And now this is where I'll gotta go through the rationale as to why I feel like it's okay for me to push for Blue Marvel. And this may be okay for some of you guys that are kind of in the same situation as me. So again, if you guys go look into the leaderboard here, you can just see that now, because as the event's getting closer and closer to the end here, yeah, more Blue Marvels are starting to trickle in here. I think I did another video a couple weeks ago, and yeah, it was about 3,700. So now, in about a week or so, 2 weeks, we've actually added about 300 Blue Marvels. So really, that tells me, I guess we've had the leaderboard payout as well, so that also helped people. But that also tells me that people may be thinking the exact same thing that I'm thinking, right? Which is, hey, there's the Blue Marvel race. Get the red stars on him. Have him in your back pocket. He'll be ready. And again, when do we get an opportunity here like this to get his 7 red unlock, even though the event ended back in December, right? The event ended like it was back in December. So I mean, right now, Scopely is actually, as much, like I said, I know people have strong feelings about it, but they actually did us a favor by bringing his event back. It was a little bit of a kick in the butt for the people that actually spent a lot of money during his initial release, and I kind of sympathize for those people. But having said that, for us, that took our time with it, and we didn't spend as much. And like I said, I think I spent maybe $100 in total. I can't recall the exact amount, but it was 100, 125. I have to check. I can probably look at my credit card and it'll show me. But anyways, so the other thing I want to kind of bring your guys' attention to is the fact that if you guys have seen some of my Dark Dimension videos, my Professor Xavier videos with with Shadow King and whatnot, yeah, you'll also know that I did actually have my Daemon already at level 5. I had brought him way back because we want to maximize on the Thunderstrike raids, and I thought, hey, if I have a bigger Daemon, maybe I can get some of those harder nodes done. It was not doable. I thought maybe I could kill the Sebastian Shaws and maybe get a little extra damage and kill the North Stars on that one particular node 6. But unfortunately we weren't able to get it done, so he was already tier level 5. I couldn't change anything about it. So what that means is I only needed 4 more characters. 4 characters. So just keep that in the mind, guys. 4 characters, and then shout out to Paul here, my boy. You done it again, brother. You keep saving my ass. He told me that there was rewards for completing Blue Marvel, and I completely forgot about the Purple Ion rewards. Like, I was so focused on the shards, I had never even thought that they would give out other crap, because they didn't give out much of the stuff on the node rewards. I thought it was just L4 ions, right? Because if you go back in here and you look, this one gives you some of the L4 ions, and this one also gives you some, some other stuff that's kind of crappy. I guess I get the mega orbs, but it wasn't the L5 ions, so I didn't care about that, right? And of course, when Paul had brought this to my attention, again, shout out to you, brother. Thank you so much again for letting me know, because I there's so much going on with the game. I can't pay attention to every single detail in this game, and I'm sure other content creators, like, it's the same thing. There's so much things going on. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of let you guys know, like, that's my rationale. So if you guys see here, it's 4.4 million ions that we'll get for completing it the first time. And then I'm assuming when we complete it the second time, because if you go here and you hit 100% rewards and you view the time, it doesn't tell you the exact amount, but I'm going to go ahead and assume it's similar, because although the first one you can't really see it either, there's no way the second run would give less rewards than the first run. So what that means right now is just completing the 2 times, I'm going to get about 9 million worth of ions. 9 million worth of ions. That's important because, guys, remember, I only need 4 characters. So right now, at this particular moment in time, I have enough ions. And by bringing up 4 characters and getting those 4 characters up there, that's going to cost me about close to about 10 mil ions. 10 point, if you want it to be exact, it's like 10.5 or some crap like that. I have to do the number. I think it's like 2.64 times 4. So yeah, it's a little bit north of 10 mil. So right now, even if I ran the whole thing and I completed it, and maybe I should have did this earlier, so now I kind of feel stupid, but having said that, that means I'm going to be able to unlock Blue Marvel, and I'm only going to be back maybe 1.5 mil worth of the L5 ions. Now, ask yourselves this, guys. 1.5 L ions for a 7 red Blue Marvel, and that's your only deficit. And maybe the other deficit is time, right? I'm going to lose a little bit of my time factor when I complete this run. But otherwise, I will have Blue Marvel unlocked. And as I already said before, guys, we have Daemon already there. He's kind of sitting around doing nothing, and I have the potential to get 4 characters up. So that is my rationale. Does that make sense to you guys? Would you guys do the same thing if you were in my shoes? Because that's exactly what I'm going to do here. And also, I just want to recap again. If you guys are looking to push Blue Marvel efficiently, and you only want to use the minimum set amount of characters, which I think is like 15, right? Let me just go through here again. So the first 4 nodes or 5 nodes, you want to just use your Galactic 3-piece. Oh, sorry, 3-piece Fantastic Four plus 2-piece Galactic. This is because they fall under the chapter categories, and this will get you in to the first 5 sections, basically with minimal characters, right? So you're not going to need to do too much, and you can bring up, and again, with the Nihilus around the corner, with the Nihilus Saga, it was nice. People got awarded the Quasar shards very, very handsomely, and of course his red stars, depending on if you can do it, his hard difficulty. But again, we have Blastar, we have Quasar, we have the 3-piece Fantastic Four. That's done. 5 characters, and then we can move on to the next section, which is the Insidious 6, right? And again, this might change again by the time you guys get to this point in time. Maybe we'll have a new city team. Maybe we'll have a team that doesn't rely on Vigilante or Insidious 6. But you guys can kind of see here that that's what people use. They used the variations of, Blade and Oath. They used, Insidious 6, like I said. And yeah, and so forth and whatever, right? So once you get those 2 teams done, that's 10 characters invested. And then the last section, no brainer. We're going to bring in the Old Man Logan plus the 4-piece Brimstone, right? I haven't decided who I want to bring as my 5th yet. For this one, because of the fact that people are using variations of Omega Red, and Omega Red's a 3.0 stat character. I really don't want to bring Elsa up. I would rather take my time and use Omega Red, but yeah, this person brought Dark Star. My Dark Star is not even level 1. I think she's just level 1, sorry. But yeah, you guys can kind of see here, the vast majority of people did bring, I think, Elsa, but that doesn't change the fact that you can bring in Omega Red because he's a 3.0 stat character. He's part of Winter Guard, and that's going to help you out with War. So, again, you can kind of decide what you want to do here. And then, of course, the last node, we will most likely do some sort of variation. Like some people brought in Professor X, Odin. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to maximize my resources and just stick with the 5 that I have, and we'll just take our time with it. We'll take our time with it and use the teams we have, and hopefully we can get it done here before the clock runs out. If I have to use some power cores to stretch it, I shall. But otherwise, guys, that is my game plan. I want to kind of keep you guys in the up and up so you guys are aware. I didn't want you guys thinking, whoa. Az said he wasn't going to bring Blue Marvel up. He said he was going to just stay the course, and he wasn't. Well, guess what, guys? If I'm only losing 1 mil worth of ions, like I already said, I think it's a pretty small payback. It's fine, I still feel kind of dumb because I did spend money on the, on the race and everything, and I only got 5 red stars on him, but the race is back, or the, the red star race, where you want to call it, and I do have a chance here to basically get myself that 7 red at the cost of a fraction of what others may have paid when he was in, when his event was live back in November. So, anyways, guys, yeah, let me know, like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If it's a good move, bad move, screw you, Az. Hey, all feedback's appreciated. This is YouTube. It is what it is, and I'll take that with a grain of salt. But otherwise, I do appreciate you guys' time as always. It's always my pleasure. I enjoy doing these kinds of videos that make you ponder, that make you think. And also, hey, like I already said, if you guys are in a similar situation and you guys are thinking about the same thing and you want to do this before the race ends, then I definitely encourage you guys to, because the clock is ticking on that event, guys, and I want you guys to maximize and get the stars on him if you can. Otherwise, I do feel like if people don't do this, and down the road, I was asking myself the same thing, like, what if I should have brought him up to 7 red? Because, again, Blue Marvel is a very, very, very stat-based character, and he is gonna need all the help he can get here, especially because, he wasn't as good as people thought he was going to be. So, that is my 2 cents, guys. Otherwise, thank you for your time, and I will see you guys in the next one.